In a previous class, we have discussed about half wave rectifier and a full wave rectifier's part completed, and one more concept about GNR diode. I think yesterday I have discussed about the GNR diode. What is a GNR diode? What is the circuit diagram? And also some formula given, and the function of the GNR diode as a voltage regulator or voltage stabilizer. So that concept yesterday given. And the last in this class, last 10 minutes or 15 minutes, we'll solve some numericals also. But before that, there are some optoelectronic devices. Optoelectronic devices. We'll discuss that one. In that, we have three main devices, two important devices. One is LED, light emitting diode. One more PD, photodiode, and one more solar cell also there, that we will discuss. First, we'll discuss about what is LED and also what is a photodiode, and later we'll discuss remaining optoelectronic devices. Optoelectronic devices. So the first word, it is a combination of the two words. Optoelectronic is a combination of two words. What are the two words means? One is first part, opto means optics. One of the branch of the physics, it is one of the branch of the physics which deals about the light or photons. But second one, electronic, it is one of the branch of the physics which studies about electronic devices or electronic circuits. Any electronic circuit which uses photon or light as a signal can be called as optoelectronic device. So here, so the electronic devices which uses the light as a signal or photons as signals can be called optoelectronic devices. In that, one is light emitting diode. Light emitting diode. So short form we can write LED. So LED, it is one of the optoelectronic device, light emitting diode. Second one, photodiode. Photodiode. So short form we write PD. Simply light emitting diode, photodiode. These two important devices, optoelectronic. But one more also I'll write, solar cell. Solar cell. So digital watch, some of the watches, calculators, we are using solar cells, or outside solar panels also are using. It is also one of the devices which produces electric energy from light energy. So these three we should discuss, but first we'll discuss first one and second one. First one we put the heading, what is a light emitting diode? LED. Light emitting diode, or simply write LED. Light emitting diode. It is one of the optoelectronic device. Light emitting diode, or short form write LED. So it is nothing but one of the optoelectronic device. But what is the purpose of this LED means, or what is the basic principle behind this one means, or what is LED means? Here already in the name only mentioned light emitting. So light is releasing. So light emitting means nothing but light is releasing, should take. So an electronic device which converts electrical energy into light energy. If you supply current, we will get light. So that's why an electronic device which converts electrical energy into light energy is called LED. So you can write simple definition. It converts LED, an electronic device which converts electrical energy into light energy. Electrical energy into light energy is called an LED. An electronic device which converts electrical energy into light energy is called LED. That is LED means. But here which device can be used as LED means? Generally, normal diodes you have to take. Normal diodes means like germanium, silicon. But these germanium silicon are not much useful for making LED. Why they are not much useful means in case of the normal PN junction diode, whenever voltage increases, automatically what will be happen? The electrons and holes both are moving towards a junction, both can cross the junction, both will combine, then current passes. If for example more and more voltage we are applying, then what will be happened? Or more and more electric field we are applying, what will be happened? Temperature will be increases. Instead of light coming outside, what will be happen? Heat energy will come outside. That is not useful for us. That's why a normal germanium or silicon are not useful for making LED. Here germanium or silicon are not useful for making germanium or silicon is not useful for making a LED, since they produce heat energy at higher temperatures. Since they produce or release heat energy instead of light. So actually our aim is we have to supply some electric current or electric energy and we have to get the light. But if you are using a germanium or silicon for making LED, whenever we applied suitable electric energy, instead of getting a light, what will be happen? It produces heat energy. That's why they are not useful. That's why what type of metals we have to choose means compounds of germanium or silicon, compound semiconductors. So that is gallium arsenide, or gallium phosphide or phosphate. Or gallium phosphide. So this type of metals are cadmium sulfate, CDS, cadmium sulfate. So this type of materials we have to choose generally. So here if you are using a gallium arsenide, it will produce a red color light, it produces a green color light and so on. So different compounds of the semiconductors if you are using for making LED, will get the different colors. So generally LEDs can produce what type of colors means widely red, green, blue, yellow, etc. So this type of all the colors we can observe generally. In case of our TVs, there are indicator lamps. Whenever if you switch on or switch off the TV, so in TV there is an indicator lamp like red color or green color we are observing. So they are nothing but LEDs only. If you go to the railway stations, the information will be displayed, train numbers, time, and there will be also LED bulbs, small simple LED bulbs will be there, red color or green color. So that is also nothing but LEDs only. So widely number of colors are available, but what are widely we are using means like red color, green color, blue color, yellow color, and sometimes orange color also we can use. These are the most available LEDs. But for making this LED, what type of metal we have to choose? Compounds of semiconductors like gallium arsenide, gallium phosphide, cadmium sulfate, or gallium arsenide phosphide. So this type of metals we have to choose because they will not produce any heat energy. Whereas germanium silicon if you use, they will produce heat energy. That's why they are not useful. And you can write a symbol. What is the symbol of LED means? I'll write symbol here. So first I'll draw the normal symbol of PN junction diode. It is a PN junction diode, a normal symbol you should take like this. So this left side will be P-type semiconductor, right side n-type semiconductor. It is a normal PN diode. Correct? Here always conventional current flows from P side to N side. But here LED, what is the function of LED? It is emitting light or producing light. That's why we should take two arrow marks outside like this. Take two arrow marks outside. What does the arrow marks outside represents? Light is emitted from the diode. Light is released from the diode. If take two arrow marks inside, then light falls on the diode. But here light is emitted means you should take two arrow marks outside, you should write. That's all. But here LED should be always connected in forward bias. So LED is always connected in forward bias, because in forward bias only more current flows. More current flows means more electric light energy also we can obtain. That's why LED must be always connected in forward bias. I'll draw a simple structure here. Simple structure of the LED. So you may take the gallium arsenide or gallium phosphide, the type of materials you may choose, compounds of the semiconductor. Here, these are the compounds of the semiconductors you have to choose. Any material. So here middle there will be a junction, should take like this. This will be a junction. Left side P-type semiconductor, right side N-type semiconductor. So this will be connected to a forward bias. That means it is for example contains a majority of holes. So this will contain majority of electrons, for example. So here I'll connect one cell or battery like this. And also maybe one resistance also should be connected like this. It is a load resistance to collect the output value. Here I have connected one load R or RL. So this will be plus and minus. This will be one battery. So it is a simple circuit diagram you should take. And here exactly this total part will be covered like this. It is a completely coated with one metallic oxide. When we are completely coated or completely inserted in the metallic oxide box or metallic box, then what will be happen? No light will be coming outside from other parts of the LED. But there is a small opening will be given exactly at the central part like this. Whatever I have shaded, this total part will be completely coated with non-radiating material, so which will not emit any light. But only one particular place, so we have to leave some gap. So that means light will be only coming from this particular part. If take LED, whenever LED fixed to the TV, for example, or if you hold that bulb, total part backside whatever is there will not emit the light. Only front part will emit the light. That's why we have to open this part. And now, whenever if you switch on the battery, whenever some electric current is supplied to this diode, what will be happen? Here, P-type semiconductor is connected to positive terminal. N-type semiconductor connected to negative terminal. Both electrons and holes are moving towards a junction. Whenever they overcome the barrier potential, electrons and holes are moving towards a junction. Once if it overcome the barrier, both will recombine. So because of the recombination, what will be happen? Bonds will break, covalent bonds. Because of the breakage of the covalent bonds, the total electrical energy will be converted into light energy. So that light energy will be coming outside through this gap. Whatever opening is there, from this one, light will come outside. More the potential difference applied, more be the current. More be the current means more be the light energy also. That is only simple circuit. Here, light will be released outside, should take it. That was a simple explanation, right? So what are the apparatus here means not much apparatus you have to use. Very simple apparatus. The circuit diagram contains only one semiconductor diode, which is made of compounds like gallium arsenide, gallium phosphide, the type of materials. It contains a simple diode. Next, it is connected to one battery which can produce potential difference or EMF, and also one resistance which we can take the output value. Now, here this total diode will be coated with some non-radiating material which will not emit any light except at the junction opening part. So why we have to open this part means to get the light outside. Now, when we have to apply, whenever we switch on this battery, some EMF will be supplied to the diode. Whenever it overcomes the surface barrier or barrier potential, holes from p-type semiconductor, electrons from n-type semiconductor, both are moving towards each other and both will cross the junction. When it overcome the barrier potential, both will recombine, covalent bonds will break and current flows in the circuit. So this current will be converted into light energy. If you are using, for example, germanium or silicon, what will be happen? This electric energy will not convert into light energy, it converted into heat energy. If you touch that one, we'll get some heat. But instead of germanium silicon, we are using only compounds. That's why we got light. More be the applied potential, more be the light energy. So that means here the light intensity of the light emitted from the LED is always directly proportional to the electric current flowing through the circuit. More the current, more the light. Less be the current, less be the light. So you can write, you can draw the graph also. A simple graph will be taken by taking a current on x-axis I. So current in a milliampere will be taken on x-axis, and intensity of the light, we can write intensity of light or power, we can write intensity, we should take on y-axis. So generally in terms of milliwatt per centimeter square, or we can write watt per meter square also we take. And first, whenever barrier less than barrier potential if you apply, no current means no light. As current increases, the light energy also gradually increases. So we can take the nature of the graph is a straight line passing through origin. More the current means here more the intensity of the light. Less be the current, less be the intensity of the light. So from that one important point we can write, on what factors light energy emitted by LED depends. That means you can write the intensity of light emitted by an LED, intensity of light emitted by LED is directly proportional to the electric current, flowing through circuit. Intensity of light emitted by an LED is directly proportional to the electric current flowing through the circuit. That indicates more the current means more be the light, less be the current means less be the light. Now what are the advantages of LED? So what are the advantages means it is not producing any heat energy, na? So it is only producing light energy. So generally it is operated at low voltages, no need of much voltage required, very less voltage only required. Advantages of LED. What are the advantages? Already we have some electric bulbs, normal incandescent bulbs are there, but why we have to use LED? In case of the railway stations or traffic signals, or in some of the cases in case of TV indicator lamps, music systems, and also in computers we are using LED bulbs. Instead of LED, why can't you use a normal bulb? So normal bulb requires high voltage, more voltage required, but LED requires only less voltage. That is one advantage. So what are the advantages means LED uses only low voltage and it consumes less power. So comparing to normal bulb, It takes less power, no need of much power required. It consumes less power. It has a fast action. Fast action means in case of the normal incandescent bulb, there is a filament, tungsten filament is there. Whenever if you switch on the switch on, what will be happen? First, electricity will be supplied to the filament. The tungsten filament has to get heated around 1000, 1500, 2000 degrees Celsius. It has to heat. After heating only, we'll get the light. But in case of the LED, no heating required. Correct? That's why it has fast action. Whenever if you put on the switch, within a fraction of seconds, it will be on. That's why it will act like a on and off switch. Very fastly, it is having the action. And also, long lifetime. It has more durable, long life. Long life means, for example, if you take a normal bulb, it may work for in proper conditions, standard conditions. It may work around 1 year or maybe 2 years like that. But if you purchase the LED, it may work 10 to 20 years also. Sometimes, for example, if you purchase a TV and after 15 or 20 years, TV may be damaged, but the bulb LED, whatever is there, it will not damage. It will work generally. So it has a long lifetime comparing to normal, and also more reliable. Fast action, more reliable. Because of these advantages, we can use. But what are the uses of LEDs, or what are the applications? These are advantages. What are the advantages means this you can write. Generally, LED bulbs are using less voltage, they consume less power, they are having a fast action, and also they are having more durable, or they are having a long lifetime. Similar way, what are the uses? So widely in a communication systems we can use communication networks, whatever is there, like in case of the telephone industries, or maybe satellite communications, or maybe in case of the railway communications, we can use. If you go to the railway station, in a station master room there will be, or in the technical rooms there will be some board will be there, complete circuit. In that circuit, some of the LEDs will be placed on the board. For example, a particular train is moving in one particular track. Automatically, all the bulbs will be in green condition. The station master, the person can understand the train is moving along this path. For example, whenever all red color bulbs are glowing, then automatically no train is coming in this path. So that's why the communication networks we can use. One, they are used in communication networks. They are used in communication. They are used in communication networks. One use. They are used as indicator lamps. They are used as indicator lamps. They are used as indicator lamps in TV, computer, music systems, etc. In case of the computers, for on and off, we can use indicator lamp. In TV also, indicator lamp, bulb will be there. Like green color, for example, the TV is in working condition. Or in set-top box, also whenever green light is glowing, the set-top box is in on condition. Whenever red color bulb is glowing, the set-top box is in off condition. So we can use for indicator lamps. That's also. And they are also used in burglar alarms. Burglar alarms or fire alarms. Whenever in a factory fire accident takes place, so suddenly, for example, the intensity of the light changes, or current heat also changes, and the current also changes, and amount of intensity of the light also changes. Automatically, we can understand. So something, the bulb will glow and it will give the indication also. Correct. And they are used in traffic signals. They are used in traffic signals. Used in traffic signals also, nothing but you can use LEDs. In nowadays in houses also using LED bulbs only. Instead of normal incandescent bulb, we can use LED bulbs, which are having a which consume less power and a long lifetime also. That's why we are using LEDs. So they are used in traffic signals and also in display boards. Display boards means railway stations, or maybe in some of the digital watches or digital clocks. If you observe, the instead of normal clock, digital clock, it has numbers. If you observe carefully, whenever a digital clock is there, it will display the time and also temperature, day, and also month will be displayed in the case of the normal digital clocks. In that clock, whatever the time will be displayed in numbers, they are nothing but LEDs only. So generally railway stations, whatever the numbers are displayed, also LEDs. Generally they are 7 segment should take. For example, I am using like this. Total 7 segment, for example, if you want to use like this. Or instead of all, I'll take only the single lines like this. So check this one carefully. So a total of how many lines we have drawn? But all these are nothing but having only LEDs only, complete. Whatever we have drawn here, so these are nothing but LED bulbs will be like this. So all these LEDs will be placed here. With the LEDs only, they will be glowing complete. Whenever if you design a particular program, but some LEDs can be put off condition also. Some of the LEDs can be in on condition also. So depending upon our requirement, we can use. Like check here. For example, we are connecting like this. When we have connected all the LED bulbs here, if all LED bulbs, for example, at a time glowing, then which number will be displayed? If you observe carefully, check this one. Which number is displayed in this case? So which number? 8. So 8 will be displayed complete, correct, with this one. For example, here 8 this one. For example, exactly the middle 3 LED bulbs I want to kept off condition. Whenever these 3 bulbs are in off condition, then check what will be happen. It become 0. Correct. Only with this one we can display 0. For example, whenever I want to put these bulbs are off condition, check this one, 7. So with this total 7 segmented dot matrix, so we can design the program. Whenever a particular, for example, if these bulbs are in off condition, it become 1. Like from 0 to up to 9 numbers we can display like a side by side. Correct. That's only all LED bulbs only. While designing, we have to write a particular program. For example, 0 required, 1 required, or time after 1 minute, automatically time will be changes. So the bulbs will glow, and also they will be in off condition also. They are nothing but LEDs. So almost majority of the fields we are using LEDs. There are some of the uses. If you need 2 marks question asked, write any 2 uses of LEDs. They are used in communication networks, and also they are used in indicator lamps in music systems, laptops, computer desktops, and also in some of the mobiles, or also traffic signals we can use. In counting machines we can use, correct? Different purposes we can use. That is about LED, light emitting diode. Second one, photodiode. Photodiode. Next one about a photodiode, exactly opposite to this one. Photodiode. Photodiode, short form, right? PD. But exactly the function of the photodiode is exactly opposite to LED. In LED, what we are doing? We are supplying some electric energy and we are getting light energy. But here, what we have to do? We have to supply light energy and we have to get electric energy. That is a function of a photodiode. So an electronic device which converts light energy into electric energy is called a photodiode. Exactly opposite should take. An electronic device which converts light energy into electronic device which converts light energy into electrical energy. Light energy into electric energy or electrical energy is called a photodiode. An electronic device which converts light energy into electric energy is called a photodiode. Generally, if you connect a photodiode in a forward bias, what will be happen? Generally, in case of the diode, when connected in forward bias, we have more current. That's why there will be no much use. But when we are using in the reverse bias, there will be less current. That disadvantage also we have to convert it into advantage. That's why whenever we connected the photodiode in a reverse bias, generally less current is there. Whenever some amount of light falls on that one, more number of electrons and holes are available, more current also passes. Generally, when diode connected in the forward bias, already we have more current in forward bias, but in the reverse bias, no much current, less current flows in the diode. That is one of the disadvantage of the diode in the reverse bias. That less current also, if you want to increase, then what we have to do? Some amount of light is made to incident on the diode, so that we can get more current in the reverse bias also. So it is always connected in reverse bias. A photodiode is always connected in reverse bias. It is always connected in reverse bias. And you can take symbol also. What is symbol of the reverse photodiode? First I'll draw a normal PN diode. A normal PN junction diode we have to draw. So this will be a normal PN junction diode. So left side P type, right side N type semiconductor. But here what we are saying, light energy must be converted into electric energy. Some of the light energy falls on the diode, then we have to get electric energy. Then take two arrow marks like this. So towards the diode. But in the previous diagram, two arrow marks are taken outside. Correct? Means light is emitted by the diode, but here light is not emitting, light is incident on the diode, and then it will be converted into electric energy. Should take. That's all. Simple. And you can draw a simple here. Generally, normal semiconductor diodes we can use either germanium or silicon. We can use here. Correct? Germanium or silicon will be used. And I'll write here also structure of this one. We take the diode. Left part is nothing but taken as P-type semiconductor. Right part is taken as N-type semiconductor. And the middle part there is a PN junction. Should take like this. Left side P-type, right side N-type. P side contains a majority of the holes, whereas N side contains a majority of electrons, but there will be minority holes. Here minority electrons. So this will be P side connected to negative terminal of the battery, N side connected to the positive terminal of the battery through one resistance. So connect like this. So it is a resistance you should write, or RL, minus, plus, it is a battery. So this will be generally junction. thickness of the depletion layer. Here also total part will be completely covered. Both sides will be covered except at the junction area, but you have to leave more area. At the junction we have to leave more area. More area indicates it is able to collect more amount of light. Whenever more amount of light collected means more the carriers available, electrons and holes. More the carriers are available, more current also flows in the circuit. Should take like this, and also can draw a graph. So your current flowing through the circuit will be taken on y-axis. Current I is taken on y-axis, and the intensity of light taken on x-axis. Intensity of the light taken on x-axis. Then it is in order of the milliwatt. It is in the order of milliampere should take, or microampere also may take. So the apparatus used for photodiode is as shown in the figure. It contains a simple circuit diagram. It contains one PN junction diode, and also one battery or cell, and also one resistance. So the p-type semiconductor of the diode is connected to the negative terminal of the battery. N-type semiconductor is connected to the positive terminal of the battery. Then we can say the diode is in reverse bias. And also one load resistance connected to collect the current or to take the output current. So first, and also the total part will be covered here, and some junction area will be left free, so that the light can be allowed to incident on this one. First, whenever no light incident on this one, what will be happened? We have to check. First, no light falls on the diode. Whenever no light falls on the diode, how much current flows? We have to check whether current is there or not. Whenever no current flows, no light incident on this one, but here we have to switch on the battery, and I am supplying 0.1 volt. So less than barrier potential means electrons and holes cannot cross the junction. There is no much flow of current. Only these electrons and holes are moving away from the junction. These are moving away from the junction, whereas minority carriers are moving towards the junction. Correct? Here minus both will be repelled. Plus both will be repelled. They are only moving towards the junction. A small current flowing through circuit. So that current can be called a dark current or leakage current. When no light energy falls on the diode, whenever no light energy falls on the diode, and we applied the potential difference above barrier, only minority carriers can cross the junction. A small current flowing through circuit, and that small current can be called as a dark current or leakage current. When intensity of the light I is equal to 0, whenever no light incident on the diode, only small current flowing through circuit due to minority carriers. That's why when intensity of light is equal to 0, a dark current only flowing through circuit, small current. Now, whenever light is made to incident on this junction area like this, then what will be happen? Whenever a radiation or suitable light energy falls on the junction, this light contains photons. So that all the photons incident on the junction are absorbed by the electrons and holes or covalent bonds, and automatically the bonds will break. So whenever the light energy incident on this junction area, this light energy was absorbed by the electrons and holes in the material or diode, and because of this one, covalent bonds will break. Because of the breakage of the covalent bonds, more number of electrons and holes are available, minority carriers. Because of this more number of electrons and holes, what will be happen? More current also flows. If more the intensity of the light, more the bonds will break, more the electrons and holes available, more current also flows in the circuit. So we can draw the diagram like graph like this. So here the current flowing through the circuit is directly proportional to the intensity of the light. Should take. So current current flowing through circuit is directly proportional to intensity of incident light. Intensity of incident light, should write. Intensity of incident light. More the intensity of the incident light, more be the light incident on the material, and automatically more the current also flowing through the circuit. Less be the intensity of the light, less be the current flowing through circuit. So small I is proportional to capital I. We can write one constant also. If we calculate slope of the graph, what we can find? Opposite side by adjacent side. Slope m is equal to here you can take like this. Kind of slope. By calculating slope, opposite side is equal to current. Adjacent is equal to intensity. So slope is equal to small I by capital I. Correct. We can write here slope of the graph. If you want to calculate, we can write like this. Say it is A, B and C. Here theta. If you calculate tan theta means a slope. So slope m is equal to nothing but opposite side is equal to BC by adjacent is equal to AC. But BC is equal to I, small I current. But capital I is equal to nothing but intensity of the light. So m is equal to small I by capital I, or small I is equal to m into capital I, you can write. So current flowing through circuit is equal to slope into the intensity of the light. By using this also, we calculate how much current flowing through circuit, what is the intensity of the light falls on the metal. If you know the slope of the graph, we can find how much current flowing through circuit also. That's about a photodiode. What are the uses of the photodiode? Where we can use? What are the uses of photodiode? It is also used in communication networks. So photodiode also we can use it in communication networks, one. And it can be used, first one communication networks, second one, right? It is used as a photo detector. It is used as a photo detector. What is a photo detector means? In a particular circuits, what is the strength of the optical signals, or how much amount of light is flowing. So if you want to identify a particular light signal, that is called a photo detector. In a computer cards, for example, if you take a credit card or a debit card, there will be backside, there will be magnetic strip. If you want to read the data on that magnetic strip, we can use the photodiodes. And also in a computer floppies or computer cards, if you want to read the data, we can use a photodiode. So they are used, right, next one. They are used to read the data. They are used to read the data in computer cards. Used to read the data in computer cards. And one more use also, they can be used as demodulator. What is a demodulator means? Generally modulation means whenever if you want to send the signals from one place to other place, directly we cannot send, like MMS or maybe SMS or telephone signal, directly we cannot send from here to 100 kilometers. For example, if you take a photograph by using a mobile, and the same photo, for example, if you want to send to your friend at, who is at 100 kilometers, but the photo we cannot throw into air directly, it will not go to the person. Then what we have to do? That photo we can send through the mobile only. But first that will be converted into electrical signals. So this signal is nothing but in the form of the frequency signals. So directly the signal cannot be transmitted to the satellites. First we have to mix low frequency signal with a high frequency carrier wave. Both will be mixed. This wave will be sent to the satellite. again satellite will give sent to the particular mobile, but again there will be separated. The high frequency wave, low frequency wave, both will be separated. So the mixing of low frequency signal with a high frequency carrier wave is called modulation. I want to send only photograph. That photograph converted into signal, but this signal directly we cannot send to the satellites. This low frequency signal is mixed with a high frequency carrier wave. That mixing called modulation. But once a receiver received the signal, he has to read only the photograph. He has to see only photo, no need of carrier wave. There again we have to separate. That separation called demodulation. So a photodiode can be used as a demodulator. Photodiode can be used as a demodulator. It can be used as a demodulator. And it is also used in electronic circuits. Wherever required, you can use electronic circuits also. That is about a photodiode. LED and photodiode. So these two are also called optoelectronic devices. So these two generally 2 marks questions generally, or sometimes very few cases 3 marks may be asked. What is the principle of LED, and also what is a photodiode will be asked generally. What is a photodiode and what is LED? These two. One or two problems we will solve. Okay, one or two problems we will solve. Right, one or two problems I'll give. So try to solve these questions. In the previous classes also we have solved, I think, some questions. Correct, based on some p-type semiconductor, n-type semiconductor, we have solved some questions. Now p-n junction, that concept pending is there. I'll solve some questions based on this one. Write one question. In a p-n junction, the depletion region in a p-n junction, the depletion region is 400 nanometer. In a p-n junction, the depletion region is 400 nanometer. 400 nanometer wide. 400 nanometer wide, WID, wide or width. And electric field of 5 into 10 to the power of 5 into 10 to the power of 5 volt per meter. 5 into 10 to the power of 5 volt per meter exists in it. The minimum energy of a conduction electron, which can diffuse from n side to p side, is first option 4 electron volt. Option 1 4 electron volt. I'll write here first option 4 electron volt. Second option 5 electron volt. third 0.4 electron volt, 0.4, and the fourth one 0.2, 0.2 electron volt. That is. Now check the question what they have given. In a PN junction diode, the depletion region is 400 nanometer. You should write the thickness of the depletion layer D is equal to 400 nanometer. D given 400 nanometer. And electric field present given E is equal to 5 into 10 to the power of 5 volt per meter. 5 into 10 power 5 volt per meter. 5 into 10 power 5 volt per meter. Now what they asked? In a PN junction diode, depletion layer given thickness and also electric field given. What is the minimum energy of the conduction electron? Minimum energy of the conduction electron. So E should calculate energy of the conduction electron or kinetic energy of the conduction electron. We need to calculate. So energy means work done, nothing but W is equal to potential difference into charge. W is equal to VQ. So right here, work done or kinetic energy is equal to work done or kinetic energy of electron is equal to potential difference into charge. I think in the second chapter, one formula given E is equal to dV by dx or V is equal to E into D. Also we can write. Potential difference is equal to strength of the electric field into distance or thickness. V place write E into D into Q you should write. Here Q means electron. Charge of electron we know already. So you should calculate this value. E already we know 5 into 10 to the power of 5. But D value 400 nanometer, 400 into 10 power minus 7 or 4 into 10 to the power of minus 5 meter. 400 into 10 power minus 9 or 4 into 10 power minus 7 should write. Right here 4 into 10 to the power of minus 7. And also what you should write? Charge of electron we know 1.6 into 10 to the power of minus 19. We'll get this total value joule. But answer they given in electron volt. Do one thing. 5 4s are 20 into 1.6. 5 into 4 into, do one thing. 5 into 4 equal 20 into 10 to the power of minus 5 into 10 power minus 7 into 1.6 into 10 to the power of minus 19. Electron joule I want to convert into electron volt. 1 joule is equal to 1 by 1.6 into 10 power minus 19 electron volt you should write. These two values get cancelled. Simple. Then 20 into 10 power here plus 5 that equal 20 into 10 to the power of minus 2 or 0.2 electron volt. So simple. Here joule, it is a formula in terms of the joule, but I converted into electron volt by dividing the value with 1.6 into 10 power minus 19. Both will be cancelled. Then 20 into 10 power minus 2 or 2 digits may adjust 0.2 electron volt. So answer will be fourth option correct. 0.2 electron volt. 0.2 electron volt. Next one, a PN junction diode. A PN junction diode. A PN junction diode has a breakdown voltage of 28 volt. Breakdown voltage of 28 volt. Full stop. If applied external voltage, if the applied external voltage in reverse bias, applied external voltage in reverse bias is 40 volt, 40 volt, 40 volt, then the current through it, then the current through it is, then the current through it is, current, I have written options right there. Current through it is current through it is so actually in the reverse bias they have given it is connected in the reverse bias. What is the breakdown voltage actually? 28 volt. For example, if you connect the diode in the reverse bias, so there is a leakage current or dark current will be flowing like this, but at a particular voltage suddenly current will be increases like this. Where the current suddenly increases, this voltage can be called GNR voltage or breakdown voltage. They given 28 volt, correct? But how much we applied? 40 volt given. When we applied 40 volt, then how much current flowing through circuit? At a 28 volt only breakdown takes place. But at more than 28 volt, what will be happen? Even if you are not increasing the voltage, current suddenly sharply increases and the value become infinite. So a large current flowing through circuit. It is a logical question only. No need to solve, no need to calculate. You have to understand carefully. Since, answer if you want to write, since applied voltage, since the applied voltage is greater than, since the applied voltage is greater than the reverse breakdown voltage, applied voltage is greater than the reverse breakdown voltage, comma, the current suddenly increases, current suddenly increases and becomes infinite. Current suddenly increases and becomes infinite. Infinite. That's only that. These are the two questions. Next we'll solve later. But still we have solar cell. One concept pending is there. In next class, first I'll discuss solar cell. Later, last part of the chapter, digital electronics will discuss. If that is completed, so next week we'll wind up the chapter by solving some NEET or JEE questions also. Okay, thank you.